and here's part 2 of the video. So the next part is it was a lovely warm day and all was quiet. It's using that description, it's setting the scene. You want to be painting an image in your reader's head. You know, when we write for somebody to read it, and we want it to be interesting, and we want to create a picture using words. But what I've also done is used clattering clash, which is taken directly from the poem, and obviously is a really nice word to create a picture of how the highwayman comes riding into the yard. Surprised at the noise, I looked out and was shocked to see him riding. Again, using those sentence openers, surprised at the noise. I'm putting the emotion to start my sentence in an interesting way. Expertly he rode up on a magnificent, majestic brown horse. Magnificent and majestic is alliteration, and we worked on that last week when words start with the same letter. His cape was like a flame flowing out behind him. Again, using a simile when we use light to again create this picture to describe the highwayman. He wore a hat on his head made from the finest fabric, and his wonderful warm brown eyes were hidden behind a mask. He was a whirlwind arriving at my window, whistling to grab my attention. That's a metaphor. I'm saying he was something else. So again, I'm using different poetic devices to describe something. Embarrassingly, I could hardly speak. I was so happy to see him, but also nervous. Keep describing the feelings all the way through. They will change. Our feelings don't stay the same. So make sure you do describe that. Again, using the adverbials. Don't just put an adverbial at the beginning. Use them all the way through. So I've used embarrassingly there. I'm sure you can think of your own. I was worried somebody might see him and report him to the king's men, and that could be disastrous. Could you imagine if he was arrested? Again, we've worked on rhetorical questions today. We've worked on rhetorical questions last term. So use one. You want to engage your reader. You want them to be interested in your writing. That would be awful. Short sentences. Sentences don't always have to be long with subordinate clauses in. Sometimes a short sentence is really good for adding a little bit of impact. I was that nervous I couldn't keep my hands still, so I plaited my hair. I'm going back to the original poem and the lines we read so that I'm still including that in my writing. I plaited my hair as we laughed and chatted just to have something to do. It was amazing to see him again. I always worry when he leaves that something will happen to him. That's where we're stopping at. So we're stopping where basically we're leaving them where he's underneath her window, and that's all. But you can see, even from just those few lines we read of the poem, we can get lots of ideas. So what I'd like you to do now is have a go at writing your own diary extract of the third stanza. So if you need to go back to the first video and look what the third stanza is again, it's on there. You can type it up, you can write it and send a photograph in, but we do want quite an extended piece of writing, shall we say. So that means we don't want just a few lines, we really want you to think about what you can write. I will put a blank page on Portfolio in case that's easy for you to type straight onto. Have a really lovely day, guys, and I can't wait to read your diary extract.